Now you guys saw us install a whole bunch of Dinan speed parts on this thing, and they even invited us down to their factory to check out their engineering and production facilities. Now we were gonna ship the car down, but I thought, hang on a minute, between Connecticut and Alabama, there's a fair few places to really enjoy our X3 and show you guys what makes it so special. So we've packed up and we're about to hit the road. Thank you. What a unit! Feel all the stuff we have in the back for sure. Factory. It's like vertical. After 16 hours, well over 1,000 miles of driving and averaging 26 mpg with all the mods, tire, and stuff in the back, we're here at BMW plant Spartanburg, which is actually in Greenville, South Carolina. Now, October 19th of 2019 is when our very own X3 was built here, and today, shooting this, is October 25th, 2025. So 6 laps around the sun, a few days, and 81,000 miles has brought it back right where it was manufactured. So let's head in, check out the BMW Zentrum Museum, and I want to tell you a little bit about how incredible this factory is. In 1992, BMW announced it would build its first plant outside of Germany, right here in South Carolina, along with the Zentrum Museum, which would showcase the factory's work. And every week, on a day like today, Saturday is closed for the weekend. We came here when the museum was closed.
BMW Zentrum may be closed today.
Oh, shit. The first E36 customer car to roll off of the Spartanburg assembly plant. The VIN with lots of zeros. It's just right there. It's right there. And eventually that Z3 over there actually took over production as well. They made so many of them that they just ditched E36 production entirely and stuck with the Z3. In fact, that white car there is the last Z3M coupe ever made. Made in USA, stamped in the taillight too. I wrote a whole script for this. I was going to talk about how it pledged $600 million with the goal of creating over 2,000 jobs. By the end of the decade, they had already rolled off a car on the production line, a white E36 known as the signature car, which was kind of the inspiration for our car that we drove all the way here. Since then, they've ramped up to 1,500 cars per day, and they're the largest vehicle exporter by value in the US. Employ 11,000 jobs here, and we watched the 7 millionth SUV roll off of their production line at the Ultimate Driving Museum just down the street. Just down the street. That's a normal museum. They're open on weekends. M2CS, by the way. Wait.
Wasn't meant to be.
Nope. So, remember how I had us drive to the museum that would have totally been open on Saturday? Right after that I said, well, at least Helen won't be closed. What would they be doing on a random weekend in a Bavarian-themed town at the end of October? Surely they're not doing anything similar to, like, I don't know, OctoberFest 2025? But the good news is, People love the X3. A kid in a Civic came by, I think it was just dumped, and I think his neurons had to make bridges because he looked at the SUV and went, yeah, I f with it. People love it. Welcome to OctoberFest 2025. Welcome to Helen, Georgia. Much like BMW's plant, brings a bit of Bavarian culture right here into the south of the United States. Rebranded in the 1990s from a gold and lumber baron town, it's been a family-friendly Bavarian wonderland ever since, and a super successful one at that. You probably know this place for the event So Well, which was originally conceived as an American equivalent to the original Golf GTI meet in Austria, taking place at Lake Wörthersee, hence the name So Well, or Southern Wörthersee. 2015 was the last year of So Well, and in the decade since then, a new VAG-focused tight-knit group of enthusiasts have started another show here in Helen, Alpine Volksfair. Alpine Volksfair was intended for us to come here, see friends we haven't seen in a while, enjoy this magical place, and enjoy cool cars and the roads. Unless we want it to end like it did in 2015, gotta make sure we respect this town and respect the roads. Speaking of those roads, the twisties here draw people from all over the United States and all over the world on 4 wheels and 2 wheels alike. The roads that demand a lot of respect. You don't want to be here when it's raining, you don't want to be here when it's mossy, but when it's dry like this, it's the perfect place to experience and enjoy the mods that we've done to our X3. And I have 500 pounds of stuff behind me, which a small bolt and maybe some cogs are keeping from folding my seat. Now, before I start yapping about numbers and feelings, I need you guys to understand how good this B58 sounds. As you might be able to tell, the Dynan exhaust on our B58 is the star of the show. And it being a catback on a B58 means it's both the mid-pipe and a valved muffler, which means Mark, behind the camera, and I didn't have to lose our minds on the 20-hour drive here. But now that we're in the mountains, it's just heaven. When I put my right foot down, the lag of the single turbo B58 compared to something like an S58 means that I get to enjoy that carbon turbo inlet and the rather Mark IV Supra sounds coming from our carbon Dynan intake. Now there's something else you can't hear that has a Dynan logo on it as well, and that's the Dynatronic Sport inline tuner. And usually I'm pretty skeptical of inline tuners. They're making the ECU do things that, well, frankly, it doesn't even know it's doing. But for the price of a wheel, could you ask for more performance for the money? I mean, usually inline tuners like a JB4 or something like that are quite a bit more money and are quite a bit more, what's the word, hack. This feels OEM, and it provides pretty much the shove that you'd get from a car that, well, doesn't have a power liftgate. Remember how I said you don't want to come here when it's wet? Yeah, the mountain weather has decided it is time for it to rain, and our Toyo Proxy Sport are actually holding up pretty well. Obviously, there's no point in going anywhere near the limit on a public road like this. Now we're being especially careful, but tires aren't really saying no to the fun. I should mention our exhaust isn't the only thing that has duality in our X3. This KW suspension has been lovely on the way here. It rode like a Cadillac, partially because we have 500 pounds of camera gear, shoot stuff, and wheels and tires and tools in the back, and partially because we set it on one of the more soft damping settings and height settings. Now this does have X-Drive, which means this roller coaster doesn't require quite as much adult supervision as our rear-wheel drive M4 did, but it's definitely still in the same theme park and pretty much the same height requirement. You could still screw this up. The steering pretty much feels like I'm turning the knob on a dishwasher, but at least that dishwasher is a Bosch. And a dual pinion Bosch. It's actually better than the belt-driven rack you'd find on an M340i because, well, they couldn't fit it in the sedan. Now, I want to talk about something I've dubbed the M5 effect. When you watch a car review about a lightweight car like a Miata or an 8.6 or even something like a 228i, you'll hear things like, oh, it's easy to change direction. It's very light on the controls. There's no drama. So why is it then that the M5, with being double or triple the weight of some of those cars, is so successful? And how does it earn its M badge? Well, it's a little thing called fun. You see, when the controls, the performance, and the envelope of what the car can do, with brakes that are huge and big suspension components that are beefy and stiff and huge tires all the way around, you don't feel yourself being in danger or in needing more performance when you throw this 4,400-pound lump of metal around. Even when it's loaded with 500 pounds of camera gear and equipment and a passenger, I'm not reaching the performance envelope of these parts at all. And it gives me the M5 effect. It's just, whoa, that's an accident. Wow. You guys okay? Everybody okay?
Appreciate you.
Yep, take it easy, guys. Now, when we bought this X3 and brought it into our studio to cover all the DIYs that hopefully you guys love at home, our techs joked around saying, well, it's a shame we didn't get the X3 M and we just got an M Lite car. I jokingly said, well, pretty sure it's still faster, especially off the line, than every M car I've ever driven. After today, yeah, if you have an E36 or an E46 or really anything with a naturally aspirated engine, you see one of these on a road like this, don't even try. And here we are, 2,000 miles later in Opelika, Alabama at Dynan APR's headquarters. We're here to do a factory tour, check out their engineering facilities and everything that goes on behind the scenes of Dynan and APR, and that will be for another video. For now, we've got a missing piece of the Dynan puzzle on our tailgate, and I've heard we're gonna make a little more power than what we came here with. So let's head on in and check it out. So during the build of the X3, we put the Dynantronics Sport tuner on it, which is a relatively affordable inline tuner. Showed up here, and the boys from Dynan APR suggested that we do a full software flash. Do you want to run through just quick the difference between the two products, and then also what massive lines we're looking at on the screen over there?
I mean, you pretty much hit on the head. The Dynatronics Sport Tuner is just that. It manipulates the map sensor voltage to run more boost.
Yeah.
But it's, at the end of the day, you're tricking the sensor.
Right.
You don't get to retune the safeties, add exhaust flap tuning, sports, lambda enrichment, all those things. We have complete control over that once we start calibrating the car. So
Right.
we prefer that way personally as calibrators, but every product has its own place.
And it is more expensive.
It is, yes. But this is the same file that you could warranty and replace your factory BMW warranty essentially with the Dynan Plus file.
Which is super sick. And that's a pretty classic Dynan value proposition as well.
Absolutely. You can do the Sport Tuner and not void your warranty because you can remove it going to the dealership.
Right.
Or you increment the flash counter
Right.
if you go with an aftermarket flash.
And what was the final number?
I think right up.
My butt dyno is calibrated. So what the Dynan guys are proposing, we have a Dynan inline tuner on the car right now, which just plugs in and tricks a couple sensors to make more power, which you just saw. We haven't run it with it unplugged, which would be good to get, and they're suggesting we unplug that and get an actual software flash, which is, as many people would call, the proper way to tune a car, and see how much power it makes over the Sport and over the base tune. So that's making well over 400 horsepower at the motor and probably 500 torque at the motor as well. The fact that you can get into one of these for 20 grand and then buy a 200-ish something dollar plug and play inline tuner and make that is absolutely insane. My E36 has to go into cardiac arrest in order to make that much horsepower. And this car just did that for 1,000 miles. Incredible. So what are we looking at?
Basically right now we have no correction factor. It's 1-to-1 because
Okay.
the weather's perfect.
Yep.
So if you look at the corrected numbers, stock it made 377 wheel torque because you get the marketing bump with the tuning box.
The marketing bump, I love it.
It's what it is.
Yes.
Because I mean, you're consistently making more power throughout the entire mid-range.
Right.
And right here is the biggest gain. Because basically every time your car shifts, it's gonna shift in this range.
For the folks at home, what Chris is referring to by a marketing bump is a tiny little insignificant area in the power band that spikes the top horsepower number and gives you a larger top peak number.
Yes. But
What he's referring to with the area under the curve here, this is the butt dyno. This is seat of your pants, how fast the car actually feels. And that gap between the blue line and the black line is basically the improvement you're gonna feel going from the inline tuner, the Dynatronic Sport Tuner, to a software flash.
to a warranted software flash.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's gonna feel better. We're here in one of my favorite rooms I've ever been in with Ian Boss from Dinan. He is the marketing coordinator here, and he's also raced in the 24 Hours of Rolex Daytona. Walk me through what the Dinan badge is, what it means, what is it when you see it on the car, and what has it meant in years prior?
So it's a status symbol. You know,
Yeah.
it means that you've acquired enough points to earn the badge. And the badge is showing people on the road that you have the perfect configuration of parts, that we have made that all kind of harmoniously work together from front to back, suspension, exhaust, engine, intake, everything.
Yep.
And they're designed as a package. They're all designed to support each other in their own ways and refine the vehicle and driving experience.
And ultimately take what was the BMW experience and just turn it up to 11, but not ruin any one part of it. You're really working, as you said, harmoniously between all the parts to have a complete package. What do we have to go through to actually put it on the car?
Proof of purchase, and then once they acquire the 10 points, each part has a points value appointed to it. In your case, it was easier to drive 2,000 miles and have us actually check it off in person.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do now.
Let's do it.
So here's how you got 10 points. You got the engine software, 3 points. Cold air intake system, 3 points. Axle back exhaust system, 3 points. We're at 9. And then the 10th is the throttle booster for 1 point, total of 10 points, which qualifies you for the Dyno badge. You've chose the gloss black badge. So today, I'm presenting this to FCP Euro.
Thank you very much.
The X3.
That's about
Wear
how,
it with pride.
Yeah, that's about how close I made it to graduation as well. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. Let's get this
welcome.
thing on here and fill in one of our cells. Peeling this.
I'll be kind of extra wide for something.
Oh boy. Darcy, how does this look? Is that good? Nenid? All right, I'm gonna let you do this. That's mint.
There?
Yeah, you're good. Yep. Sent. Send her home.
Oh, that's it. Even though 10 points.
Now, the Dynan badge is basically a symbol of pride, and APR Dynan take a lot of pride in what they do here in Alabama. Between the engineering, the R&D, the dyno, the software development, and the production that happens right here in Alabama, it's pretty impressive what makes up APR Dynan. We hope you enjoyed this build series and our drive down here with all the antics, visiting the factory, and the beautiful roads. We've got a bit more to do with our X3 here in Alabama, hitting the track, checking out how much power it can make, and that's for another video. Check out our Dynan factory tour video, and we hope you enjoyed this one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as well. Thanks for watching. You see how we close on the weekend.